Good.
Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to jump start a car. Alright, you might need to jump start a car if your battery goes dead because maybe you left your headlights on, you left your interior lights on, maybe you left something plugged in the cigarette lighter. Or sometimes your battery might just go dead because it's in the middle of the winter. Batteries don't like the cold. And if your battery's getting to be about 4 or 5 years old, that's about how long they last, and it might be time to replace your battery. Okay? A lot of cars now, you can't see your battery. In my car, it's buried behind the passenger seat, in the floor. Okay? But they've got these contact points in the car. So you've got a contact point here for your positive, and a contact point here for your negative. This car, my battery sits right here. The other car, it's not, it's in my floor. Alright, so I'm going to pull the car up, and when I do, you're going to notice that nobody stands in between the car because I don't want to see anybody get crushed or stuck in between it, okay? Okay, so I put the two cars up next to each other. And it's good to know what side your battery's on before you even bother doing that. Because if this battery is over there and that battery is over there, my cables probably wouldn't be long enough to reach. Okay? So another thing you want to always keep in your car is a pair of jumper cables. You might have a perfectly good battery. You might have a friend that has a dead battery. So whether it be for you or for your friend, it's always good to have jumper cables in the car. Now, you're going to notice what I'm going to do is you never want these to touch, okay? If these touch when they're connected to the battery, you're going to make a lot of sparks and bad things are going to happen to your electrical system. So I'm going to set them down so they're not touching each other. If there was water, I couldn't do that. I'd want to have somebody holding them, okay, if it was raining out. So I'm going to take my connectors, my battery cables. I'm going to hook my positive, my red cable to the positive here. And I know that because you got the red cap here, right? Sometimes you have to wiggle it around to make sure you got a good connection. And now in this car, my ground is right here. So black is ground, just like that. And in this car, same thing. I'm gonna hook this. Oh, one more thing, before you hook up your battery cables, you wanna make sure everything in your car is shut off, whether it be your air conditioner, your radio, your interior and outside lights on both vehicles, because you want these things to charge, and if you've got all these things on, they're draining the battery as you're trying to charge it. So you don't want to leave those things on, or it's going to take longer to jump start your car. Now I hook up the red cable here, and I'm going to hook up my black cable down here on the ground. And you can see when you hook up that last cable, sometimes it sparks a little bit. That's actually a good sign that you know you've got a good connection. Okay? And now, you don't want to go and try to start your car right away. You want to give it 2 or 3 minutes before you do. Alright? Now, one other thing I want to show you. Good alternative, instead of cable, first unlocking the car.
Yeah.
Good alternative, instead of cables, if I only had one car, I could still jump start my car with this jump pack here. I would hook this up to the red cable, the red point, and this up to the negative point right there. I hit the power button, and just like so, in a couple of minutes, I could jump start my car. I could jump start a tractor trailer with this thing. It only cost about $150 at the time I filmed this. Okay, so now I'm going to try to start the car. Okay. And then one more thing that's always a good idea to do when you go to jump start a vehicle. I've seen a lot of times when the car first gets that jolt of electricity, the doors automatically lock. And you don't want to do that once your keys are in the car. It's always a good idea to roll your window down, just so that if you're outside the vehicle, your car doesn't end up locking on you. So now I'm going to shut off everything I have running here. Sometimes you can look at your voltmeter and see if you've got good voltage or not. And now I'm gonna just start my car. Last thing you want to do, now that the cars are both running, keep it running, okay? You're going to want to let it run for at least 20 minutes. You can take it for a drive, whatever you got to do, but you don't want to get out of the car and shut it off for at least 20 minutes. It'll give you time for the battery to charge up. So you want to unhook the jumper cables, and you don't want them to touch until you get the other set of jumper cables unhooked. Now they're safe. Now they can touch because they're not hooked up to anything. Make sure you cap off your batteries, and you're good to go.